where I know that they made things a lot more difficult for me to be able to move forward and be able to gain stability, because while all of this was going on, they were stealing behind my back. They slandered and did all of these things and got, a whole bunch of people to come up against me by me trying to speak my truth and trying to gain stability so that I'll be able to get things back right and on track in my life, and to be able to try to reunify with my children and be able to let them know what was going on. It just was a lot. And it's been a rough journey, but for me, I can look back and appreciate it all because it helped me to learn about myself, how like being deceptive is not the way to go. Always being honest and standing up and speaking my truth is what I learned, in the process of all of this, because of the destruction that I caused by me just not being honest about my age and my true reasonings for me wanting to not be home. And it's just a lot. And, that part I do regret about lying about my age and, you know, getting myself wrapped up into the situation. But I also am grateful and thankful that I stood up, took accountability, spoke my truth, and, freed that burden off of my mind. And I know that it hurt my child, but I wanted him to know the truth. I caused a lot of damage by him being in that situation. And I came, once I got myself together, to the conclusion of like, I just wanted to just build my life right on a solid foundation and not, you know, be deceptive, do anything that I'm not supposed to do. And a lot from the time that I left from Craig, because what really like made me leave from being with him is after we had moved in with Rhonda while we were living in Maryland. Rhonda had a friend come over to the house, and Craig swore up and down that the guy was for me, and he wasn't. So we went across the street. It was an elementary school across the street, and he beat me up in the parking lot. He beat me up in the parking lot, and I told him that I was leaving him. I didn't want to be with him anymore, and it wasn't because I was trying to go be with someone else. It was because at that time I really wanted to get my high school diploma. I wanted to do what it is that I had to do to start getting my life back together. And I think I was like 18 at the time, 18 or 19, one of those years. And he lost it. He downed a whole bottle of allergy pills that I had, and he left the house. And when he came back, he was talking out his head and passed out, like he had passed out on the porch. And I thought he was going to die. His mouth was foaming. Called the ambulance, and they winded up taking him to the hospital. And I went to go see him, and he was chained down to the bed, and I don't know what the heck, but he winded up going into a psychiatric hospital. And eventually I had winded up leaving Maryland and going back to New Jersey. It's been a lot of stuff. I've been on a crazy roller coaster ride this whole time in my journey in my life. And right now, at this point, it's the first time that I was able to have like a clear mind, be able to work on myself, be able to get myself back in order to where I can rebuild my foundation, clear my mind. I did all of these things by myself pretty much because my family was there, but they weren't there, and they were only there for their own selfish personal gains and reasonings. And it all has to do with money and covering up a lot of things that they had done to me. So they were intentionally trying to keep me stuck. When I had moved to Salem with my mom and my children, we went to Salem because my auntie Karen lived there, and my mom had to move from where she was staying at on First Avenue anyway. So we moved to Salem, and like I was like, I'm not gonna allow me being in this small town with no really transportation to be able to like keep me, mentally trapped. I got a job at Jet. It's a nice warehouse, and doing pretty good. Mom had put me on child support because we had got shared custody, but in order for her to do that, she had to put my children on her lease to be able to get the house that she was staying in. So that was done, and I was paying child support or whatever. Eventually, Mr. E said that Mr. E is my auntie Karen's man. He told me that he wouldn't be able to continue to drive me back and forth to work, so I had to leave from that job. And then eventually I started working at McDonald's, and I think it was August of 2018 or something like that. And I worked from August of 2018 there all the way up until May. I think it was 24th or 25th or something like that when I turned my uniform in. While all of this is going on, I'm dealing with the situation with Ronaldo and TT. And she told me, like, pretty much telling me, like, I know where you live type stuff or whatever. So I had to go to the police about it. I was stressed the hell out. I left from work because of, like, the coworkers, Ardra. She was happy, like, I don't know. Ardra thought that I was trying to deal with her boyfriend and all type of stuff. I'm like, man, I got all of this other stuff going on. I don't got time to be trying to deal with this crap with y'all and, you know, some customers that used to come through, and now I know, like, sitting back, like, they were paying these people to come and try to, deter me. They tried to get me to fight and be violent and all of this other stuff because that's what they remember of me in my past. But I have children, I have responsibilities, so I wasn't trying to entertain that. My mother even called the police on me in hopes of me getting locked up so that she can get custody of my children and keep doing whatever they were doing. And eventually I was like, I'm out of here. And I left from there July 2nd of 2019. And I've been gone since then. So whatever transpired back in Salem from then until now, I don't know. But they were behind the scenes doing a whole bunch of cover up, whole bunch of lies, whole bunch of crazy stuff. My grandmother passed away, and that was the end of June of 2019, and that broke my heart a little bit. And I wanted to be able to go to her service, but you know, I really I had to go. I had to get away from there because if I would have stayed there, I would have been trapped even more. When when I left from there, I took me and my two daughters and everything that I can carry, and I left. And that was the best decision that I feel that I had to make. And it winded up turning out to be the best thing that I could have ever done because in the course of me leaving, I gained clarity on the situation. I was able to gain stability. I was able to gain a job. I was able to save up some money. I was able to help my son to pay off his car because he had to leave it in front of the house that my mom was staying in Salem or whatever. They winded up towing it, and he winded up having to still pay on it because he had payments. You know, it was a whole bunch of crap. But throughout all of the roller coaster twists and turns, I was able to gain back what it is that I should have had so long ago. And I'm still fighting to obtain everything that was stolen from me, to gain my reputation back, to speak up for myself, to not care about how others felt about me, but more about how I cared about myself because of, me allowing myself to be vulnerable to everything that was going on. Like I said, I'm grateful for the whole experience. It taught me a lot. It helped me to grow up in my mental state, you know, able to escape a lot of the things and traps that were set for me to keep me stagnant. So I'm thankful for it all.